Have you ever scrolled through photos of old friends on social media and felt that familiar pinch in your chest? Maybe they're traveling, celebrating anniversaries, or embarking on new adventures, and you can't help but wonder where your own life stands in comparison. I've felt that too, and let me tell you, at 65, 70, or even 80, it's surprisingly easy to fall into that trap. But over the years, I've learned that comparing yourself to others is one of the quickest ways to steal your own joy, especially as we get older. After 60, life takes on a different rhythm. The daily hustle slows down, routines become quieter, and suddenly the milestones we once measured ourselves by, promotions, buying a house, raising kids, don't feel as relevant. And yet, society, friends, and even our own minds can make us feel like we should still be measuring up. That constant comparison can sap your energy, your confidence, and your sense of purpose. But here's the truth, your journey is uniquely yours, shaped by decades of experiences, choices, and lessons that no one else has lived. No one else has walked in your shoes, faced the challenges you faced, or experienced the joys and heartbreaks that have made you who you are today. When you compare yourself to others, you overlook the richness of your own story. In this video, we'll explore why comparisons are especially harmful after 60, and I'll share ways to shift your focus back to what truly matters, your own life, your own growth, and your own happiness. We'll go through practical steps to help you embrace your journey fully, without the weight of keeping up with anyone else. By the end, I hope you'll feel lighter, more centered, and ready to celebrate your life exactly as it is. Let's start with the first point. Comparison is almost always based on incomplete information. Think about it, when we look at someone else's life, we're often seeing only a snapshot. A beautiful photo from a vacation, a smiling family portrait, or a perfectly staged garden. We rarely see the struggles behind the scenes, the health issues, the quiet loneliness, the financial worries, the disappointments that aren't posted online. When we measure ourselves against these curated snapshots, it's no wonder we feel inadequate. I remember a time when I envied a friend who seemed to travel constantly. Every week, there were new pictures of exotic beaches and quaint villages. I felt frustrated with myself, thinking I should have been doing more. But one day, over coffee, she confided that she often traveled alone, and many of those trips were lonely and exhausting. Suddenly, my envy felt misplaced. The life I had, rich with family, quiet mornings, small neighborhood adventures, wasn't worse. It was just different. Which brings me to the second point, comparison ignores your unique strengths and values. Every life has its priorities, and what brings happiness to one person may not bring happiness to another. After 60, it's natural that your priorities have evolved. Maybe you value calm mornings with a cup of tea over crowded tourist spots. Maybe time with grandchildren matters more than climbing mountains or collecting awards. When you compare yourself to others, you risk undervaluing what truly matters to you. A friend of mine, let's call her Margaret, retired at 68 and started volunteering at a local community center. Some of her peers continued traveling extensively or pursuing second careers. Margaret sometimes felt like she was falling behind, but the joy she found in mentoring young people, reading with children, and helping organize local events brought a kind of fulfillment that no trip or career achievement could match. Her life wasn't less than anyone else's, it was aligned with her values, and that made all the difference. The third point is that comparison fuels unnecessary stress and regret. As we age, it's tempting to look back and think, if only I had done this, or why didn't I achieve that? Comparing yourself to others only magnifies these feelings. It steals your energy and distracts you from the life you still have the power to shape. Regret is a heavy burden, but awareness and acceptance of your own path can free you. I used to dwell on things I didn't do, certain careers I didn't pursue, certain adventures I didn't take. But over time, I realized that I had lived a life full of moments that mattered deeply, family gatherings, friendships, small acts of kindness, learning new hobbies, and even the quiet solitude of my own thoughts. By acknowledging my achievements, no matter how modest they seemed compared to others, I started to see that my life was rich in ways that no social media post could capture. So, how do we stop the cycle of comparison? The first step is awareness, noticing when you're comparing and gently redirecting your thoughts. Next, focus on gratitude. List the things in your life that bring you joy, pride, or fulfillment. And finally, embrace your unique journey, realizing that your experiences, even the struggles, have crafted a life no one else could live. Now that we've explored why comparing is harmful, why it ignores your unique strengths, and how it fuels stress, the next part will dive into practical strategies to cultivate self-acceptance, celebrate your achievements, and find joy in your own path. And feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. Now that we've looked at why comparison can be so harmful after 60, let's talk about how to shift your mindset so you can fully embrace your own journey. This part is all about practical steps, things you can start doing today to stop measuring your life against someone else's and begin celebrating the life you already have. One of the most powerful strategies is to focus on your own definition of success. As we age, we often feel pressure to live up to expectations we've internalized over decades, expectations from society, family, or even our younger selves. But the truth is, what matters now is not what others think success looks like. What matters is what feels meaningful to you. For example, I know someone named Harold who retired at 67. While his friends were chasing new careers or traveling abroad, Harold found his joy in painting and tending to his small garden. To anyone else, it might not have seemed like success, but to Harold, those hours were priceless. They gave him peace, purpose, and happiness, things no comparison could ever measure. When you define success on your own terms, you free yourself from the stress of measuring up. Another step is to practice gratitude daily. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good exercise, it rewires your perspective. Instead of noticing what others have that you don't, you start seeing what you already have that's valuable. It could be your health, your relationships, your hobbies, or simply the ability to enjoy a quiet morning. I like to start my day with a simple exercise. I list 3 things I'm thankful for. Some days it's small things, like a good cup of coffee or a sunny morning. Other days, it's bigger, like reconnecting with an old friend or helping someone in need. Focusing on gratitude shifts your attention from comparison to appreciation, and suddenly, life feels lighter and more fulfilling. The third approach is to limit exposure to triggers that fuel comparison. Social media, for example, can be a double-edged sword. While it keeps us connected, it also shows curated highlights of others' lives. If scrolling through posts leaves you feeling anxious or inadequate, it's okay to step back. Consider following accounts that inspire or uplift you, rather than accounts that make you feel less than. Or set boundaries, like checking social media only once a day, so you control how much comparison seeps into your mind. In addition to managing external triggers, it's important to practice self-compassion. After 60, it's normal to notice changes in your body, your energy, or even your social circles. Comparing these changes to others only brings frustration. Instead, treat yourself with the same kindness you would a good friend. Remind yourself that aging is natural, and every life has its own challenges and advantages. Let me give you an example. My neighbor, Joan, often worries about not being as active as some of her friends. But when she starts her day with gentle stretching, a walk around the neighborhood, and a visit to her garden, she remembers that her pace is hers alone. She celebrates small victories, finishing a craft project, cooking a new recipe, even reading a book in peace. These small wins are far more meaningful than comparing herself to someone else's achievements. Another powerful tool is mindful reflection. Take time each day to reflect on what you've accomplished, what brought you joy, or even what you learned. Journaling can be particularly effective. By writing down your experiences, you create a personal record of growth and fulfillment that belongs entirely to you. Over time, you'll see patterns of progress and moments of happiness that are uniquely yours, things no comparison could ever replicate. It also helps to celebrate small achievements. Too often, we only recognize big milestones, buying a home, a promotion, a long vacation. But every day holds small victories. Waking up early to enjoy a quiet morning, reconnecting with a friend, finishing a puzzle, or trying something new are all wins. By celebrating these moments, you reinforce the value of your own journey rather than measuring it against someone else's. Finally, cultivating curiosity and new experiences can replace comparison with exploration. Instead of thinking, "Why didn't I do what they did?" ask, "What new experience can I try today?" Maybe it's a cooking class, a local volunteer opportunity, learning a new hobby, or even revisiting a forgotten passion. Curiosity shifts the focus from envy to engagement, and that's the key to living fully after 60. The common thread through all these strategies is awareness. Awareness that your life is your own, awareness that comparing only steals joy, and awareness that every day provides opportunities for meaning, growth, and happiness. Now that we've covered how to define your own success, practice gratitude, manage comparison triggers, cultivate self-compassion, reflect mindfully, celebrate small wins, and embrace curiosity, the next part will focus on how to sustain this mindset long-term and build a sense of peace and fulfillment in your later years. By now, we've talked about why comparing your life to others can be harmful, and we've gone through practical ways to focus on your own journey. But the final piece is about sustaining this mindset and turning it into a lifelong habit so that your later years can truly feel fulfilling and joyful. One of the most important habits is regularly celebrating your own milestones, big or small. After 60, these milestones might not look like climbing a corporate ladder or buying a vacation home, but they're no less meaningful. Did you complete a gardening project, reconnect with a distant friend, or finally try painting? Those are milestones worth recognizing. Giving yourself credit for these moments reinforces the message that your life has value, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Alongside celebration, it's crucial to cultivate contentment. Contentment doesn't mean you stop dreaming or growing. It means appreciating where you are now and recognizing the richness in your own life. Think about it. Your life is a mosaic of experiences, relationships, and memories. No one else has your exact combination. When you stop comparing, you start to see the beauty in what's uniquely yours. Another key point is embracing your own pace. As we age, our energy and abilities naturally shift. Some friends may hike mountains, travel the world, or take up new challenges faster than you. That's okay. Your pace is yours to honor. Life is not a race, it's a journey, and each step, even the slow ones, is meaningful. I like to remind myself daily that progress is relative, not absolute. For example, I may not travel as extensively as I once imagined, but I still find ways to expand my world. I attend local events, I try new recipes, I read books that challenge my thinking. These small acts add richness to my life that can't be measured against someone else's itinerary. It also helps to build a community of support. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your achievements and respect your journey. Share stories, swap experiences, and uplift each other. When your circle values growth and fulfillment over comparison, it becomes easier to focus on your own life rather than measuring it against someone else's. Another practice I recommend is reframing negative thoughts when they arise. If you catch yourself thinking, "I haven't done as much as they have," pause and reframe it. "I have done a lot in my own way, and my journey is meaningful." Training your mind to notice comparison and consciously shift perspective takes time, but it's one of the most powerful ways to protect your peace of mind. And remember, it's never too late to start something new. One of the best ways to stop comparing is to immerse yourself in activities that excite you personally. Whether it's learning a new skill, volunteering, or exploring a passion you've always had, these pursuits create joy and fulfillment that comparison can never take away. One of my favorite examples comes from my friend Elsie, who at 72 started a small community book club. She worried that she was too old to start something new, especially when she saw others traveling internationally or starting businesses. But as she invested time in this project, she found deep satisfaction in creating a space for discussion, connection, and learning. Her life became richer and more purposeful, not because she was keeping up, but because she was living fully at her own pace. Finally, one of the most transformative practices is daily reflection on gratitude and growth. Before bed, I like to reflect on 3 things: one moment of joy, one accomplishment, and one thing I'm grateful for. It's a simple ritual, but it anchors me in my own story and helps me see the progress I've made, not in comparison to anyone else, but in relation to my own life. So, what's the bottom line? After 60, life is not about keeping score. It's about honoring your unique journey, celebrating your wins, and embracing growth in ways that feel meaningful to you. By focusing on gratitude, contentment, community, and personal fulfillment, you can break free from the trap of comparison and experience a sense of peace that no social media post or neighbor's success can touch. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's this: your life is yours, and it's enough, exactly as it is. You have a story no one else can live, memories no one else can feel, and gifts no one else can offer. Embrace that truth, nurture it, and live fully in your own lane. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What strategies have you found helpful in avoiding comparison? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content aimed at helping you live your best life after 60. Here's to honoring your own journey, celebrating your unique path, and living fully every single day. Because your life is precious, and it's yours to cherish.